Alright guys, what's up? I am back. So I was able to kind of finally put together the algorithm to um, to find out what's going on the 1 minute time frame for um, the Nasdaq Composite. So the live that I did earlier, I pretty much got as far as I wanted to go, and then this afternoon I went ahead and put a little bit more time into it, and I was able to figure out uh, another one or two pieces of code that actually improve the performance of the study. So I'll take that off just so you can see the full screen. And so I'm just going to kind of review that right now. All right, so I was able to isolate. I don't know if you can see behind my head there. I was able to isolate these 3 points on this chart here for, what is this, the 28th. Okay, so the 28th, I was able to isolate this point here that I was trying to get. I was trying to get this point and this point on the 5 minute. So I can move it over to the 5 minute, but then that'll make it a little bit more confusing because I have a 5 minute study. That's not this study. This study is referencing the 1 minute study that I created that actually puts together these, gives me these four entries here. So that one down there, let's see, that one down there, that one there, that one there, and then this guy over here. This one over here was also one that was created, but I just couldn't get rid of that one, so that one's gonna be a stop loss. I think I put one, I put one piece of code in that should allow for, if there are 3 bears in a row, then it would not take this one. And I did, but I think I took it back out because that also took out another entry that I did like. See, these are like 1, 2, 3, 4 bears in a row. Yeah, so I think I left that one out. All right. But you can see here I ultimately had 14 conditions. Let me see. You can't see that. All right. All right. You can see I had 14 conditions, which that's a lot. Usually I end up doing about 10 or so. 9 or 10, and you see I'm not even using condition 7 or condition 11, so yeah, I guess it puts me about 12, so that's not too far off. These are the kind of things that I've accounted for, not having long bottom wicks, not having long top wicks, being under the non-moving average, being under the 15 moving average, the open being under the non-moving average, it being a bearish candle, value 2 is greater than or equal to the value of 2 from 1 bar ago. Value of 2 is indicated up here. And so this is all what I put together, and then I put it in a strategy, which is here. Okay, put it in a strategy. And this took me some time to figure out. Every time when I do it, I haven't been doing a lot of strategy, so every time when I do it, it takes me a little bit of time. But so I've got the entry situated. So the entry is here, the buy bar, and then to exit on this same chart, I was able to backslash this out because I didn't even need this, but you got to create a counter. So when you buy, so initially this counter is set at 0, right? So at the beginning of the strategy, it's set at 0. Counter set at 0. All right. So then when you buy, when you actually do make a purchase using a strategy or an algorithm, automation, it sets the counter to 1. So the counter is always 0 unless you buy something, and now it's at 1. Okay, so now if the counter is 1 or greater, for every bar, it keeps getting higher. And actually, I guess I wouldn't even have to continue adding the counter. I just go to 1. Yeah, I could probably take this out. And then as long as the counter is over 0 and the entry price is over 0, which means that you made some purchases, then you want to begin checking to see if the price is moved down more than 0.03%, I think it is, or moved up more than so much. So yeah, that's what I came up with, and these are the results. So let's see the results. Bam. All right, so this is the result, excuse me, of this specific strategy. So just overall visually, maybe a little bit easier. So visually, you can see the first, I think the first chart, the first trade was a little bit negative, and then the next one moved up, next one moved up, next one moved up, little retracement, next one moved up. So overall, my equity curve looks pretty good. I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, that's shooting straight up. So we'll just kind of have to see. We'll keep an eye on this one. Maybe I'll print this out and keep a book of it, keep a record of it, but we'll have to see how this looks over the course of the next couple of days and just see if it stays on track. All right, but I would have made $70, a 0.07% gain. I mean, let's face it, you don't have to sit there and look at the chart all day long, and you can just wait to hear a indicator go off and press a button. You know, sounds like free money. But anyway, okay, all right, so this is how it actually performed, if you can see that there. All right, yeah, so that first one I was telling you, lost $4. That next one I made 23, the next one I made 19, next one I made 15, next one I lost 6, next one I gained 20. So overall losing $10 and then making, I guess, around 80 or so. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Efficiency looks pretty good too. I'll have to go back and look and see, but the efficiency, obviously the efficiency here wasn't great because this was a losing trade, but on the trades that I did make, the efficiency is pretty high. So this one only had a 67-cent drawdown and it went up 19. This one had a 92-cent drawdown, went up 15. This one, is that right? Had a $9 drawdown and then we made $2.30. That's not very good, right? So you can see there that efficiency is very poor. But the most of these efficiency is pretty high. Yeah, but this, yeah. Well, this one was a losing trade, though. Okay, well, that makes sense then, right? All right, that makes sense because it was overall going in the negative direction. So it went down as low as 897. But I think by the time we exited, it might have been a bar that retraced back up, and so the time we exited was 623. This typically is we're gonna have to exit on that next bar. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that. So let's see if we can run the chart back just to see overall how it looked. Now this is today's data, July 31st. But what I was targeting was July 28th. Alright, you see there's July 28th, what it did. And then I believe it got captured a few more, because I ran it back maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days or something, so captured a few more entries. Let's see. Okay, there's an entry. That one was stopped out, so that one's for a loss. That might have been the first loss. Yeah, I think that was the first loss. And it wasn't for very much. Yeah, so, and did the most of these happen on the 28th, which I was targeting? And see, it tells you the dates and everything. Yeah, so that first one was on the 25th. That was a loss, and then all the rest of them were on the 28th. So again, I try to make these studies pretty specific to the pretty specific to the day, just because whatever's going on that day causes that stock to move for that day. What causes one stock to move on one day does not permit the stock to move like that on the next day, because there may be another condition that's contradicting what's happening, that initial setup. So the fact that I was able to get the study to be that specific and really weed out pretty much all the other days in this range, I think that's a good sign. So I'll hang on to this one. I'll print out this graph along with the code associated with it, put it in my notebook, and put it on the shelf, so when we have another day that set up very similarly, we can make 0.07%. You know. All right, this is Eric. I'm out. Peace.